Hi folks, hi folks, me again. As you can see, I'm sitting on the front end of an automatic pin setter in the back of a bowling alley. Most all my videos do pertain to automatic pin setters except for the exception of one. In this video I don't want to focus so much on the pin setter, but however, it is what I do for a living. I grew up in a bowling alley from a small child, probably before I could walk, I'm sure, and I was always fascinated by things like fans, spinning objects, and especially the automatic pin setter. It's been an extreme fascination of mine ever since childhood, and ultimately it led me to the job that I do, and I do love my job. And however, I am on the autism spectrum. Uh, if you want to put it on this spectrum to maybe help you understand where I fall on there, I am on the high functioning end, slightly past Asperger's. And by trade, I am a pin setter mechanic. It is what I do for a living. And personally, yes, I do wear my autism as a badge of honor. I am proud of my autism simply because it made me who I am 100% through and through. Uh, and I'm proud of who I am. I mean, I really am. I'm satisfied. But however, there is another end to the autism spectrum. It is called the severe end. Um, and in that case, autism is not a blessing. It can be very bad, cruel, relentless, and in a very unforgiving lifestyle. And it took me a while to, I guess, appreciate my autism and accept it. And once I did, here over the last couple years, I have read a lot of books about autism. I actually recently, about 6-8 months ago, read a really good one. It talks about autism all across the spectrum, from maybe where I'm at, to the mild end of Asperger's to severe autism. And from what I've read from the book, mild Asperger's syndrome, a lot of those guys who get into the computer tech stuff are the types of minds that come up with these really great cell phones and all of our electronic devices that we do enjoy. Good thing we have those kinds of minds around. But then again, I'd like to maybe help people understand that if you see one person or know one person with autism, you know one person with autism, because it is a very broad spectrum. And even though I had read the really good book about autism, it talked about the severe end. I knew it existed. I knew about it, but I really never paid attention to it until I had a conversation with a lady about autism on a autism video, and I had mentioned that I do wear my autism as a badge of honor, that I'm proud of my autism. And I guess maybe she didn't understand that, and she had replied back, and we had chatted back and forth there for a little bit, and I guess, like I said, maybe she didn't understand why I wear my autism as a badge of honor and proud of it, and then again, I don't guess I understood her point of view, and the further we got to chatting about it, she had told me that she has a severely autistic son, and explained to me her situation. And then it was very eye-opening conversation, and I'm really glad we had it, because I learned a lot that night. Because on the severe end of autism, most people on the severe end can't do much for themselves. They need constant care and constant attention. Sometimes they can hurt themselves. They can wander off, and very bad things can happen. And I want to let anybody out there know, with a severely autistic child, or someone like that, or a caregiver for someone with severe autism, that I honor and respect you. I really do, because you really are a hero. You really are. I mean, you're a true warrior. I myself couldn't imagine that. The lady that I talked to, she works a full-time job, cares for a severely autistic son and an ailing father. And then after we had that conversation, I really understood where she was coming from. And that's more or less the purpose of this video, is to maybe help people understand that there is a severe end to autism. you know, it's not a blessing for everybody. For some people, it can be a real curse. Uh, that's about, you know, pretty much what I had to say about that. If you would like to add a comment on this video, you have a question about autism that maybe I can answer, and if I can't answer it, I'll say so. Maybe maybe you would like to put a comment about your own personal experience with autism, or maybe you're a parent with an autistic child that may have a question about it, or add a comment with your personal experience with it. All legitimate comments and questions about autism are welcome. But I will say one thing though, and I say this respectfully. I really don't want any preachers or anybody like that leaving comments about casting out the demons of autism. Okay, now if you choose to believe autism is a demon that needs to be cast out, that is fine. Because I'm going to tell you, I have Christian beliefs. I believe in God and Jesus. I was taken to a holiness church as a child, but I don't consider myself a Christian simply because I don't live like one. Like I said, I say this respectfully, but I don't want any comments about preachers or anybody like that casting out the evil spirit of autism. And like I said, I'll say that respectfully, and I would hope that most people would respect that. Okay? I tried to do this video a couple times. It's very hard for me to do a video verbally because sometimes I have a lot to say and I can't always find the words to say it. And you know, but autism has its struggles for me too. I'm single, I'm unmarried, never been in a relationship that lasted a very short time, because I never really understood love in relationships, and I just don't pay much attention to those things. I think about it sometimes, but in the long game, it's just something that's in the back of my mind. And maybe if I could change one thing about autism, that maybe would be it, because I struggle socially in relationships. I do struggle socially. I struggle socially in a lot of situations, especially where I'm not comfortable or where I'm uneasy or where there's too much going on or if I'm nervous for whatever reason. But yeah, I do struggle socially. So autism does have its struggles for anybody that is affected by it. Well, I mentioned what I do for a living. Some people are interested in autism and what autistic people do or autistic people may do for a living. I have videos about pin setters and what I do for a living. I didn't want that so much to be the focus of this video, but I like pin setters. I really do. I don't know, I find them comforting and relaxing. I grew up in a bowling alley. I always loved the sound of a bowling alley. Except for here lately, they like to play the music too loud, and I really hate that. But let's take a quick look around. As you can see, I'll turn around here. As you can see, there are machines behind me. And I'll turn around this way, you can see machines in all directions. Well, not in all directions, but in a straight line. This section here contains machines 1 through 12. And the wall directly behind me, those are machines 13 to 32. Just take a quick look at the front end here. And this is what I do for employment. I'm never going to be rich in any way, shape, or form. Trust me. But I am satisfied with my job, and I'm proud of who I am. And if you watched the video, I appreciate your watching. Thank you.